If you want to have your absolute best life, you got to be willing to do this one thing that I'm going to show you today. All right, one thing. Now, I'm going to show you a photo. And when you see the photo, I want you to think for a moment and then leave me a comment what you think that one thing is. Now, you can cheat because you'll know it before you probably leave the comment. But I'd like for you to leave me a comment and tell me what your first thought was. Okay, your first thought. Check out the photo. All right, breathe it in, check it out. What do you think the one thing is you need to do to live your absolute best life? All right, you're going to leave that in the comments. Now I'm going to share a verse with you that I believe connects with this perfectly. Check this out. All right, so this verse is 1 Corinthians 15:33. And it says, don't be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Bad company corrupts good character. Now, looking at this photo again, this is what I believe. I believe that for us to live our absolute best lives, we're going to have to cut ourselves out of certain situations. We're going to have to cut ourselves out of certain circumstances. Sometimes we have to sever ourselves from certain relationships. For some reason, being that person's friend is bringing you down. Being that person's friend, you find yourself doing things you don't do around others. All of a sudden, my tongue is a little looser around this person. I use profanity and vulgarity around this person. Everyone else I'm okay with, but for some reason, when I hang with this person, I just say and do whatever I please. Bad company corrupts good character. A lot of times we believe that we can be connected to or take part in things of the world because we're strong enough to never let it overpower us. Believe it or not, you're not as strong as you think you are. I'm not as strong as I think I am. So what we need to do to make sure we preserve the integrity of our hearts is to cut ourselves out of certain situations, because it will come back to haunt us. It will come after us with a vengeance to make sure it pulls us in and pulls us down. I was telling my wife this the other day. If you want to know a lot about a person, check what the algorithm shares with them. The social media sites that we love, that we enjoy, pay attention to what they're feeding you, what they're pumping into on your timeline, on your For You page, all those things. What it's showing you is the stuff that it thinks you like because of what you've engaged with in the past. And it's going to keep feeding you that stuff so you will stay on the platform. Now, what does that show you? It shows you what you're connected with. If it's a bunch of mess, a bunch of garbage, it's because the algorithm thinks that's what you are, what you like, because that's the company you're keeping. If it's wholesome, if it's uplifting, that's because that's the algorithm way of saying, hey, this is what you like or what you connect with a lot. So I'm going to keep feeding you this. If you want to have good character, you need to stay connected with good things, with good people. If you want to avoid negative character, you want to make sure that you don't allow your character to be compromised and corrupted. You're gonna have to cut some things out. So maybe the movies you like because it puts images in your mind and you can't focus because you keep thinking about certain things, or the music you love. The music keeps filling your head with things that are worldly, ungodly. You might have to cut those things out. And I know it's not pleasant. I know no one wants to do it. But if you want to preserve the integrity of your heart, if you want to make sure you live your absolute best life, the most honorable life for the Lord, you have to be willing to cut some things out. And sometimes it's things that you really like, and sometimes it's things that you don't want to have taken from you. But it's better to render these things unto the Lord and allow him to remove them than for you to be removed from the family of God altogether. Let this be a solemn reminder that no matter how strong we think we are, our character, our witness is at stake if we do not, and if we're not willing to cut away some things that may pull us down. All right. I pray that this encourages you. I pray that it lights a fire within you to say, let me do a self-assessment. Let me check within my heart. Is there anything in my life that's pulling me down? I feel it. I know it. There's something inside of me that's uneasy when I'm around this person. There's something in me that's uneasy when I watch movies that have these types of images or this type of language. There's something within me that when I listen to that music, I feel a resistance within me, or I feel myself getting weak, or my thoughts are they're not pure. I'm willing to sever those things. I'm willing to cut those things out of my life, because my ultimate desire, my greatest desire, is to honor the Lord Jesus Christ in my life. Everything I do, everything I say, every part of my walk, I want it to be honorable in the sight of the Lord. And because I love him so much, I'm willing to cut away things that I used to want in my life. All right? I pray that encourages you. I pray that you will start to look within, and so you can sever those things so you can walk upright. Let nothing hold you back. Let nothing keep you from giving God your total heart. All right? Make sure you watch it, share it, and live it. Now let's get busy living the life. God bless you.